Hey, how's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's good. And if you're not good, I hope everything works out for the good. Today, I just want to say welcome to another episode with Speak Life Shine Bright. I'm your host, Kurt, and I pulled up to Grand Rapids, Michigan to do another podcast episode. And I'm here. We had a special guest. You know, I've known this person my whole life, and it's just a blessing to see his life story in front of my eyes from the time I can remember to now. And I'm here. I drove all the way to Grand Rapids, and this is one of the things I wanted to do. And our guest invited us into his home, and I'm thankful that he accepted the invite to come on and Speak Life Shine Bright. So I want y'all to give a warm welcome to my guest, Chef Carl. Give a warm welcome, y'all.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, this is Chef Carl, but I want to speak to you all about before Chef Carl. It was the doublesman, Carl's Hot Doubles, for many, many years.
Nice.
And a lot of people want to skip that, but I can't, because in 1980, I was working in a restaurant in New York, and one of my supervisors, Miss Green, said to me, last night I was lying down thinking about today, and I remember what she said to me, and I asked myself why she said that. She said, Carl, let me tell you something. When you're going up the ladder, be careful when you reach on the top, because don't treat people bad and don't disrespect people, because you might have to meet the same people when you're coming down. And it bothered me all these years. And just last night I was trying to figure out why she said that to me, because I never did not, but it's a weird thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get ahead, let's give the listeners a description, an idea of where were you born and things like that. Where were you born?
I was born in Londonville, Trinidad, County of Caroni, and I grew up in Torjode, a little village they call Torjode. Small village, candlelight, flambeau light and tractor and bison and little village, in a sugarcane district, Torjode.
Nice. And what's your best childhood memories?
With my grandmother, she used to bake. She used to bake like tat and pone and sweetbread and drop. And then she would say, "You go get the bison and hook up the bison to the cat." We had a bison we call Rosie. And she will make Morby and sorrel and ginger beer. And we will go to the cricket match. We'll load it up on the bison cat and we'll, because it's a long way, and we go on there and she will sell it and thing. And something about when we had a dirt oven. We didn't even have a gas oven. My grandfather was very skillful. So he make a oven out of dirt with 6 burner stove out. It was real fancy when you look at it now, And my grandmother could have cooked. She could have baked. And when she baked, and you smell the aroma of the coming off of the oven and in the back, man. I used to be like amazed that, And growing up, I always know the baking, and I was in that atmosphere, and when
that's nice. And so that's your best childhood memories. What's the worst childhood memories?
Worst childhood memory is growing up without a mom. Never know my mom. And, growing up as a young kid in Torjode, and, the atmosphere we was around the house, where we lived, my grandfather's house, people had judged us, not as kids. They're just judging us wrong. We gonna go to jail. We gonna die. The kids not to play with. We was like, I don't want to see you in that yard. That's the kind of thing.
Like a black sheep family.
Yeah, and we wasn't doing nothing to hurt nobody. We wasn't violent in Trinidad at that time. It was just fight down from the beginning. But my older brother, Julian, he always told us one thing. Don't jealous nobody what they have. You don't know what they got to give it. And that kept in us. And stay out of trouble. All are not going to go to jail. All are not only going to. This is all we had. Was us. Sometimes we have to eat yam and edo stakari and curry mango and white rice, but we eat it up. But we was happy, you know. I didn't do too much eating because I used to suck fingers. So every minute I had my 2 fingers in my mouth, and I was comfortable. You know, that was my day.
Yeah.
You know, and used to be hard on Sundays too when you're hanging out with your little friends below the shop, and they say, "I'm going home," you know, to your mom, and we didn't have nobody. We had to leave too, but we didn't have nobody to go to. It was me and Kenrick, you know, but we come through all that, and.
So how was now you in your teenage days, and was the dream always to come to America? You in your teenage years now, you starting to grow up.
No, I never thought. I used to be scared of living in. I used to have bad thoughts about Trinidad, you know, because we had was a fight. We had was a fight our way, because you didn't want nobody advantage us in the village. You know, people think so. They used to have me very angry. When I was growing up as a young guy in Trinidad, I was very, very. If you watch me too hard, I curse you, because I had so much anger in me. And it's a good thing that I come to America, because if I was living in Trinidad with that anger I had, I probably would have been died already or been in prison, because I was mad with the people, not with Trinidad. I love Trinidad, but with the people and the way how they judge us, and they didn't know us. And sometimes I feel at this present time, some still they can't get a mind off of that when they see me. Like sometimes I've been in New York and I see somebody who grew up with, and I say, man, I was just with Jamie Foxx and them, and they give me that look, like who you is, you is bellies, you lying, you know, and that's the way they make me. Some of them, but one thing I would like to say to anybody, just take what I'm saying. Never make nobody beside God made your destiny. No, if anybody come in the way or stopping you together, move them aside. Don't be mad with them, because everybody have their own opinion. But do what is right and what your heart desire and what you want to do. I came to America. My father sent for us. God bless him. God bless my stepmother. They bring us to America. I'm very thankful for that, and I'll be always thankful. And I came here and the first job I went to do in America, I tried to sell cash peanuts for the Hare Krishna organization. You know, because I live on 56th Street and between 9th and 10th Avenue in Manhattan, and them big headquarters was on 56 between 9th and 8th. And they say, yeah, you could get a job, $35, and every 100 you're selling nuts and Hare Krishna people. And I say, man. But then I started walking around in the night. I went to Grand Central at night, and I see a sign say they hiring people 24 hours. I said, man, this is America, man. They're ordering people in the night. They're hiring you to work. And I went down in Grand Central. There's a coffee shop in the basement. And the guy said, you want a job? I said, yeah, it's dishwasher. He said, yeah, but we only pay $2.52 an hour. I took it. And my first job in America was on 440 West 40th Street between 5th and Madison in New York City.
So that was some good money back in the days, because the money had more value to it, right? It wasn't that bad, but still.
And plus you had to eat. I think about it, because I like it to eat. And you could eat anything. You eat you could get a free meal, breakfast. And my manager was a guy they called Curtis. That's why I named my son Curtis, because I used to suck finger at the age of 18 when I first started to work in the restaurant. And every time I tried to hide and put a finger in my mouth, he used to come and say, Trinidad, you can't do that here. You're in a restaurant. And I was like, I got to stop sucking finger. And I finally went off the finger, you know? And I started to wash dishes. And then I met a chef who used to come between 9 and 10:30 every day he passed. Chef Donovan, and he makes special things. And one day I said, I want to learn to cook and things. He said, well, what you got to do, come early and do all your work. So I asked her to say, can I have the key for the restaurant so I could come and mop out the bathroom and bring up all the French fry and the chicken and thing? And he said, yeah. And I come every morning I leave because we used to live in Manhattan, so I walk to work. And I come early, I do all my work, and I will help him for the hour. He makes salad, I watch. And then one day, the vice president from the company, Mr. Dunkley, came. And he said, hey, Mr. Trinidad, I heard you from Trinidad. I said, yeah. And he said, you're doing a good job. So he told me he wanted to take a shave. So I couldn't understand what he was saying. He said, I'm going downtown. And because National Restaurant had owned over 250 restaurants in New York City. Most of the restaurant in New York City was owned by the Reese brothers. Mm-hmm. And he was the vice president. He said, I want to take a shave. And he was looking at a steel refrigerator. He was making joke, but he said, when I come back, I want to stand up in front of it and say, so you got to shine it and keep it shine. So every day I always keep it shine at night, and I always say, I could shave now with this, Trinidad. And then one day he say, I tell him, I tell you I want to be a salad. So they had hired a lady from Boston in 1980 to come to New York and teach them how to make 14 different salad and 12 different omelet with 45 different items. And I was to get a break. That was my break. They said, yeah, we're going to take you out from dishwasher. We're going to think. And the same day the lady came to do the demonstration, mm-hmm. Chef Donovan called me early in the morning. Man, I'm sorry, man. The cook ain't coming, man. Coming into I need you to stay over there. And I feel like if I could just pack my clothes and go back to Trinidad because I feel down, But then they bring me a pamphlet of everything, how it's set up. And I took it on the train. I took it in Central Park. Because we didn't live far from Central Park. I read it in the night. I tried to think it. Bam. I started to get the salad and thing down pack. And in a year time, in about 6 months that summer, I was 19 years old. They call a meeting and they say, well, we will make you the head salad chef. I'll give you 75 employees. And I was like, this is not happening to me, you know what I mean? You're putting me in a position, And I had really know my stuff. I had really, God had opened my eye, give me that knowledge, and I knew that. And doing to all that, I used to do a little catering. My friend and them have a birthday party because I was interested in cooking. So I would make little potato salad, little tuna fish with thing. And I go to the party and fried chicken because everybody would be like, oh, it's so good. But I was a vegetarian. So I didn't know how it tasted. So I'm cooking all this meat, pepper steak, and people telling me how good it is. And I was like, man, I don't eat meat. I can't taste it. I've been a vegetarian since I was in Trinidad. And then one day I went and do a little wedding. And this guy came in named Mr. Oni, and he said, who do this? I said, he said, give me a number. So he said, you do a little side work? I said, well, I off on Saturday and Sunday. And in a month time, he called me and he said, I need to come and pick you up next Saturday if you ain't doing nothing. And he took me to the State Building in Harlem. It was the 17th of June, 1979. Muhammad Ali had came to give a speech. All this is just happening to me just like that. And so many kids, but he didn't tell me where we was going to do. He didn't mention nothing. He was calm. He was cool all morning. We prepared me, and he said. Then he said to me, "I'll be back in a minute." So before he come back, he come and he said, "Put away all the knives." And I see some big guys coming in, bodyguards and things. So then I see Muhammad Ali coming in to the kitchen. And he said, shake my hand. He shake my hand. He said, why are you so nervous? You're shaking my hand like you never meet me. And I was like, I'm from Torge Road. We don't even see you fight the same year you fight. We don't even see you fight. We didn't have TV, so I never see you fight. I never see. Then he said, "Sick," and then he gave me my blessing, and I think that blessing he gave me, tell me Allah bless me, say I'm doing a good job as a young man, keep it up and thing. And I think that gave me the urge to be what I am and to manage myself to be cooking.
So this is like your first year in America.
Yeah.
Wow.
My first summer.
And you experiencing all this, going from being a dishwasher to being a head salad chef to meeting Muhammad Ali. Wow.
And I was like, starting to get me interested. So now, going to work now, we had to pass. The Holiday Inn is on 57th Street between 10th and 9th Avenue, 440 West 57th Street. And every day I pass and I seeing all the chef outside taking a cigarette break with a nice tall white hat and the white uniform. And it's such a draw to me, like, this is what I want to do at the age of, And so one morning I walk and I see a big sign out there, higher end, for a new study they're building in the lobby. I was like, man, I ain't got no degree, I ain't got no education, I'm a dishwasher. This is the Holiday Inn you're talking about, big Holiday Inn Coliseum in New York.
Yeah.
I went and get me an application, and I took it for an Indian friend they called George, Jamaican guy. He was a waiter. I said, George, fill out this application for me. I want to take it to the Holiday Inn. And he fill it out, and I drop it, 2 weeks after, they call me for an interview. I say, man, I just make a joke by filling out this application. I can't do this. Me had the education to go there in the Holiday Inn and thing. And when I went there, the guy interviewed me. He's from England, the general manager. And he said, well, and your son, where's your degree? I say, man, I ain't got no degree, but I got some pictures. Because I always used to buy them little $5 camera and take pictures. I always liked them $5. So I had some nice pictures of salad I make. And when he said, he was very impressed.
That's your degree right there. That's the proof.
Yeah, and he said, I can't hire you permanent now. I give you 30 days, probation to go down there because a union place and blah, blah, blah. So I said, all right, and I went down there. Then I get a job. I spent at least now 10 years with them.
Wow.
10 years with them, and I did a good job. I resigned from there. And that's how I started to cook in Brooklyn now. American food, nightclub, all the nightclub, and my friend of them who used to work there.
You start seeing the Trini scene, the Caribbean scene in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, I didn't know.
How was that? Because that's the beginning of you say in the late 80s.
Yeah. Well, when I started in Brooklyn cooking, I wasn't cooking too much in the Caribbean. I was always cooking with the American food. And when I leave Manhattan, I went to American settings because my friends and them who used to work in the hotel, they used to say, all the Trini is too much for me. I only hang with America. So they wanted to show me, they take me to dress, buy me suit, teach me to tie a tie, to present myself. So I started to cook for the club, good money. Couldn't eat meat, so I didn't know how it tasted, but everybody was, oh, man, that food is good. So I said, I was on something. Mm-hmm. And with that life, you're making money, they're paying you good to cook, you get caught up in the nightlife. There where I went. I went straight from a good guy, resigned my job in the Holiday Inn, to making good money, but I ended up in the wrong crowd. And
surrounded by gangsters.
Yeah, gangsters, drug dealer, gambling, because them is the underworld I cooking
the nightlife,
The nightlife. You dress up with suit, they send a limousine to pick you up, everybody. When you go in the club, you don't know when it's daytime or nighttime. But I wasn't comfortable with that because that's not the way I was raised. I was scared that police come and I get locked up. I was very scared about that kind of life. But I had to be a man because I was in the atmosphere and thing. Then I went to they shoot one of my friend and blah blah blah. So I had to get away from that, and then I went to Tamkin.
You got.
I went to Tamkin and Troop, between Marcy and Troop and Quincy. So run hustle there. The police said they're gonna get me and this and that and the abandoned building. And I was saying, man, I used to cook. I meet Muhammad Ali. I cook in the Holiday, and I used to train people to make salad and things. Here I is now.
Running from building to building.
Building with winos in the night. Because everybody else sleeping. You want to make the hustle. I have 2 wino. I buy them little cheap wine. And I'm in the midst of them. Then I called Trinidad, and I always used to because I always thought I would have died on that avenue. That's when I seen that. So I used to always call and leave a message in Trinidad where I is. And my brother called from England, and they told him where I is. And he called the grocery store. I always give them the grocery store, the Boduga store number.
Yeah, the number, yeah.
And they say, "You're getting a call from England." And I went there, and he said, "Where you doing, auntie?" He said, "Man, I'm sending somebody to get you, brother. You don't sound right." And he sent somebody to take a plane. The next week, come from London, pick me up and say, "Hey, brother, said to bring you right now to London." And I went to England, the 12th of August, 1986. And I changed my life from that day up to today. When I came back to Brooklyn 6 months after, I was clean. I met my friends and them. They was doing the same thing. I told them I'd change. But I didn't know what to do because I lose my job in the Holiday Inn. The club life, I didn't want to go back into that. And I was walking down Nostrand Avenue between Lincoln and St. John's. And I said, "Lord, I don't want to live that life no more. I want to think." And something hit me that you got the mold. You got this. Chef Donovan taught me to make this. And he always tell me, he say, "You could make a living off of this. You're the only person I'm going to show the recipe to." And that hit my mind one time. And I started that. Ital Shell. I went to a club they call Tough Gun. Bob Marley. They named it after Bob Marley thing on 95th and Clarkson. And Shorty was the owner. When I went there, he said to me, he said, "Boy, you could go in the back there and cook, but lock the door." He said, "Don't open the door. Once you go in there, don't open because the club is in the basement." So he showed me 14 bullets. He said, "All this is bullet hole,
Don't open that door for nobody.
He said, "Don't open the door for nobody. Don't come out. Don't do nothing. Just stay low." He said, because them boy and them shoot. This is 90s.
Yeah, this is the late 80s.
Yeah, and Clarkson, in the 90s they call it. There was a rough.
Oh, yeah, the 90s. Yeah,
a lot of body
yeah.
fall in.
Oh, yeah.
But they give me that break to use the kitchen. And my friend Banks come and say, "Man, I'm going to make some shell." And he took me to Tilden Hall. And when I went to I meet the corn man. Enough respect for your Tripper. I meet Tripper. And Tripper say, "Man, come set up your table, come inside and warm up," because we're selling outside.
Yeah.
So we had to go inside and warm up because it's below zero sometimes, we do it. And so we ain't had we could just sit down. And good first night I sell 100, second night $1 for one,
Yeah.
And then all on a sudden now, people looking for me. Hey, man, this thing is good. No meat, just vegetables. And that. Then I see I sell 500.
500 shells?
Shell.
In one night?
Yeah, and then I sell 900.
Woo.
I said, man, people line up, people take, because they want to take it home. It's something.
What was the filling you put in them at the time?
I put Ital I make.
Oh, Ital, okay.
Ital. But it was real good. It was real good. It's something I create and I make it. It was real good. So they started putting the orders. Doublesman, give me, for aside 5 for me, because I don't promise the madam. So even though you go to party and you behave bad.
Yeah.
Because they make out a hat.
They have a hat. They have a heart shape.
Yes. So you could carry 10 heart, a dozen heart for your wife,
And say, "Baby, look what I got for you."
For you.
But you've been out all night partying.
So they tell me that used to make peace in the home. So I came favorite for the heart man,
Yeah.
But a guy used to sell doubles, and Trinidad people had liked doubles because that's from Trinidad, and he was hard to get into. And then when the crowd come around him, he used to fold his arm like, yeah, you all got to wait on me. And I used to stand up and watch him and say, that's not the way to treat people because they want to eat.
Yeah.
And you can, and I started to think about, I'm going to buy some doubles.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't know nothing about Trinidad food because I didn't learn to cook in Trinidad. And I started to buy 50, sell out 100. So next week I went to the people, I said, well, I want 150 doubles. They started to check my money. 150, no, you want too much. We could only make you 50, Carl. So I whispered to the guy who making it, the cook. I said, well, I'll give you $100 for a few hours if you come by me and you just show me a little recipe, you know?
Yeah.
And he took it because $100 for a few hours.
Go a long way at that time.
Yeah, and he showed me one or two things. Then I started to make it. People didn't like my doubles. Some of them say I'm not Indian. Who you think he is? And the name Carl created from that because it used to be a grocery store they call Big Top. They had some big grocery shopping cart. You could sit down in it. Them big shopping cart could hold my food and everything. I come and I get 2. And I said, I put my food, put on a white shirt, a chef hat, and I push in a cart on the street in Nostrand now, going down the road. People laughing at me because you pushing a shopping cart, selling food for $1 with a chef hat, a chef white coat. I feel embarrassed, but I didn't show them. I say, I'm going to make my name. And I put my name there. And then it's keep going on. I still starting to get known and things. It take me 2 years. 2 years to really get the doubles on the market. And when I do get it, people started to come for me for job. Then I had a Panamanian named Rico. Sometimes we forget about him. He was a soldier. He made me what I am, my name, because he will go out there and stand up in the cold every Saturday and Sunday night where they have a party. All he asked me for is a sign. He said, don't forget your sign, Carl's. And we brand from there. Then I had other
Carl's
people.
Hot Doubles.
Then Carl's Hot Doubles created from there. This is it. And enough respect to all the doubles massive. Enough respect to Tripper. Enough respect to my friend Hawk for coming out there in the cold and standing up and making sure your brother was safe. Thank you. I appreciate that. India was a diehard soldier too. Thank you all for the sweat. Banks for putting my little table in your wife's car and taking me to the first thing. I appreciate that. Thank you all. I will never forget you all, and I'm not ungrateful for that. And we can't forget Junior Dread. One of my doubles massive, the most doubles anybody ever sell for me.
Wow.
Was Junior.
He told me about those days. He said he set some records.
He set the record. when a person taking whole night to sell 300 doubles, Junior
He coming back for more.
Yeah, Junior want 4. Give me 400 doubles.
Wow.
And he ain't leave until he said he only do any answer when it's cold.
Yeah,
so,
Junior.
He was a good soldier, a good thing, and I want to say thank you all for that. And that's how it started.
The doubles.
The doubles. But now we're going into the hard cooking. I came to Grand Rapids after 9/11, and I went to Jamaican Dave for a job. And he said he couldn't hire me, but he knows somebody to hire me, and so he take me to Dee's Kitchen, to Arnold. And they hired me as a prep because they never know.
That was on Division, right? That was on Division in Franklin?
And a Division and between Franklin
and Hall.
And Hall, where the Knives was.
Yeah, it was a nightclub, not Young Niles, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, I was a prep helper, and then he fired the cook, the chef.
And this is in Grand Rapids, so the chef went from, the doubles man went from Brooklyn all the way to Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Great Lakes.
And I started to cook. But I know I could have cooked because I was running 2 soul food restaurants in New York. So, but I didn't let them know that. So I was prepping with them, going to a thing. Then he just threw me in there. So he said, well, you say you could have cooked from New York, right? The kitchen is yours now. Do what you got to do. Do your thing. Make it happen.
And that food was delicious. Man, you had that place bumping.
And then when I'm trying to make it happen, he said, man, thing. And life is very, very important what you do in life. And when you pray and you believe in God and God looking after you, thing. Abby Woods come into this to be a manager. Me and he had a little falling out. But he always telling me, he says, Chef Trinidad, I have a brother I want you to meet, you know? And my brother gonna like you because you're Chef Trinidad, you're different, you know? And he brought Al Brown. Mr. Al Brown. Enough respect to you, brother Al.
Uncle Al.
Uncle Al. He brought Uncle Al in to meet me. And he said, yeah, I heard a lot about you, and we talk, and then he said, we went and do the first woman tour with Beyonce, Alicia Keys, all of them, and he said, yeah, he took me there, and enough respect for Rita. He asked me if somebody could have take my kid, watch the boys, and Rita play a big role in being what I'm here, because I couldn't leave my kids with nobody else. I trust her. She was a good stepmother to them. She did the best she could do with them, but sometimes I have to tell her apologize to her, because every time she dropped me to work and she come back, she always say, every time I call her and say I'll be in town, she says she get a headache, because I got to whine out all the stress I pick up from California to Grand Rapids.
That tour life wasn't no joke.
It was no joke. They hated me. Some of them said they couldn't understand me. There was pressure in me. So when I reach in the car, I'm saying, how you doing? How is your kids? I start up. I'm mad. I ain't this. And she says she used to get a headache. Sometimes she still remind me about, man, I used to get a headache when I know I have to pick you up or drop you. You know? But God is good. God bless her. She's a very good woman to me and a good wife, you know, a good person to my kids. You know, I thank her a lot and I appreciate her a lot, you know. And God make things happen that after all that I get sick. For the last year and a half, I had a surgery.
With a heart bypass.
Triple
bypass.
Triple bypass. And when I was in the hospital, you know, when they did it and they take the vein and do it, the same day I had to go back into surgery because my body reject the vein.
The leg start to swell.
My left side started to swell.
Like a balloon, they said.
Yeah, so they had to cut all my muscles, all my vein, and put something inside
so
it.
So the leg could deflate, and they saved the leg.
They saved the leg. I'm still not 100% thing.
But it's better than being with 2 legs than 1 leg.
Yeah, and then they took me to Mary Free Bed to rehab.
Yeah. And
I used to be mad every day they teach it because I couldn't walk no more.
Yeah, because they cut the vein in the back of the calf.
Yeah, so on the 2 sides, so my foot is like a dead piece of wood, so I couldn't walk. So they had to teach me to walk. They had to teach me to go in a car. They had to teach me to use the bathroom. They had to have somebody showering. I couldn't do nothing. I was just at 1 foot and weak. And I keep telling them, every time they come 10:30, Mr. Clark, we coming for you to carry you to exercise your foot. I say, I hate that, man. I don't want to do that, you know. But they always hear me talking about cooking. Because if you know me, I don't want to talk about sports. I don't know nothing about sports. I don't want to talk about gossip about people. Me, I had too much of friend. All we could talk to, if you want to talk to me, talk about cooking. And I mean, we is good friend.
That's right.
You know? So one of the nurse said to me, I heard you say you love to cook. She said, you know, we got a kitchen in here. I said, you all got a kitchen in here? I say, yeah. She said, yeah. I said, could you take me tomorrow? I go try to walk there, you know? And she said, well, what do you want? I said, well, buy me some bread, egg, and things so I could go cook me up. And she took me and she pushed me on the thing and she think. And they got to realize that's what I like. So every day she would take me there and do something, and they started to see I'm not, because I used to be mad with them just coming to get me to teach me to walk, to climb stairs and things. And that's the love I have for cooking. And when I came home, I prayed, but I never thought I would have been doing cooking again. I thought it is over. That was my run.
But you left out the part after you met, like you said, Uncle Al, you got a chance to travel all over and cook for people you never.
Every arena in this country and up to Canada. Every arena I went to, I cooked.
Who you cook for? Let them know. Name some names.
Chris Brown, Kenny Rogers, Patti LaBelle, Bow Wow, Anthony Hamilton is my friend, and Toby Mac.
Toby Mac. Shout out to Toby Mac.
Shout out to Toby Mac. Enough
Speak
respect.
Life. That's where we got this inspiration to add Speak Life. And then I said Shine Bright. So we got to reach out to Toby. Thank him for everything. And also, I got to look forward to get him on the podcast, even if I got to go to Nashville.
And I remember one day we was in California. And Toby Mac put his hand around my shoulder. I was walking between the bus. And he said, "Chef, why you don't talk and you always look sad?" And I was like, man, I take his hand on my shoulder. I say, I feel uncomfortable when he said, I'm just doing this, my brother, because I love you and I like you. I like how you and your kids reacting, And he said, I'm gonna take you places, man. And then that's when he started his own tour. And he said to me, talk to Ryan. He said,
shout out to Ryan Lamper.
Yeah. And he took me with him, and he took me Canada. He took me places where, he opened doors, and it was a very good thing. And I want to give a shout out to Donnie McLaughlin. The first day I did a Hopeville tour with him, he used to always tell me in the evening, they always have a little prayer thing. He, Kurt Franklin, and Yolanda Adams, they always had a little prayer thing in the dining room, and I would sneak my little selfie in and go. And after that, he will put his hand around my shoulder, and he always said to me, you is the shepherd. So he said something about you. He said, because you nourish the shepherd and them so they could go out when the night come and pull in the flocks, get the flocks together. And he always telling me, he says, something about you, Chef Carl, I see in you. Keep up what you're doing. And thank you for giving me that encouragement sometime when I have a rough day, But look how life is. Life is what you speak it. One time I was selling doubles, and one of my friends said to me, he said, you're going to take this doubles right through America, Banks. He was kind of tipsy. Said, man, this is laser bean doubles, man. We're going to the team. You're going to take this through. Shout out to you, Banks. I took it from New York to the University of California. I made it in every arena. I had a chance. I make a little curry. Let them know Curry massive, Trini massive, Carl Doubles was there, Thanks, man. And look, now I come back after a thing. Arnold came and find me. He said, we need you. And after all these 20-something years, I ended up in 40 acres. The first place I went for a job, after 20 years, I went back right there. And I'm out there trying to help them out with the menu.
So you're trying to say Jamaican Dave sits on the same land of the place you operate now?
Yes, right there. Right there, 40 acres.
Yeah, I hear that. The place where he was denied. He came to the there's only a few. It's a Jamaican restaurant in mostly every little city in America.
At that time, was only Jamaican Dave.
And Jamaican Dave is the only Jamaican restaurant in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Small little city, not too small, but so he went and said, let me get a job. He said, no, but I can link you to another person. And
he took me to Arnold.
Yeah.
Enough respect for you, Arnold.
But now, the same place where Jamaican Dave used to be, the place got knocked down, reconstructed. It's brand new, and the chef, it's there now. It was a business that wasn't doing too well before you came, right?
After the pandemic, it was thing, but now we're gonna be the number one in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Food for your soul and food for your heart and for your love. 40 acres.
40 acres, and you say y'all have the only cognac bar?
They have the only cognac bar. It's nice atmosphere. The food is good. The staff is nice, and shout out to all the workers behind there. Y'all did a good job. I went and took my family there for Easter. The food was good.
It was delicious. Thank y'all so much.
But I'm mad with y'all. Y'all served me last. Y'all bring my food last. But thank y'all. It was good. And enough respect to the boss. The staff is nice. And the atmosphere is a place that I want you to come and bring your family and enjoy the meal that we prepare in 40 acres. It's something to talk about.
I like the name, 40 acres.
And we're trying to do the best. I am one of the cook there that I don't cook for the money so much. I cook for the love to see the customer. It tingles my heart when I walk out in the dining room and I see a customer eat most of the food at the plate, because I get really sad if I see you don't eat all my food. I want to know what's wrong. I want to run on the table and say, what's wrong with it, But I don't have that problem. Friday, I was there visiting because I just had a little surgery. And a customer said, he said, this food is the food. This food will bring peace. This food will stop the war. I was like, man, I heard all kind of things about food. But it couldn't be that. Sometimes people just want to meet me and
what
say.
What the man say?
This food could bring peace, and this food could stop the war. I said, I can't believe, I never heard nothing about that.
But food could do that, though.
Yeah, because you need to sit around a table and eat and enjoy it, And
wow, what a journey.
What a journey, and I'm thankful to be alive. The most important thing, I give God praise and glory that I could walk. I could walk, because I never think I could do it again. I didn't give up. I had believed, but I had a little doubt with my thing. But I pray, and I had a lot of people praying for me, and God knows I didn't finish my journey. You
just had a sit down with the learners group, and they did a special video with you.
Yeah, I just did a video with the literacy program of West Michigan, and
your teacher was.
My name is Carl Clark. I go by the name Chef Carl. I'm from Trinidad. I came to the United States in 1977. When I came to the United States, I came to New York. Yeah, we could read, but not that thing. But the speaker was, with a heavier accent. I had 4 boys. I had just lost their mom. And I made her a promise. She asked me to make a promise. If I can raise them in New York, come to Grand Rapids. She had known somebody here.
My name is Jennifer Summers. I am a program coordinator at the Literacy Center of West Michigan. So Carl and I have worked together for about almost 4 years now, since 2018. And it's been a really great time learning about his story, where he's from, working with him on his goals.
When I met Jennifer, I wasn't talking too much. I got comfortable with her, and and she's one of the best person I ever meet for a long time. Yeah, she listened. She helped me in anything I need to. It's a really good program, and she's a really good teacher. I'm proud to know her. She's a very important person in my life.
When Carl got the position as head chef here at 40 Acres, he was so proud to be part of this and to get that job. And it's really exciting to see him be part of this great new addition to the food scene in Grand Rapids. So it's wonderful to see it doing well and to see him thriving in the position.
Chef Carl was a breath of fresh air. So was introduced by a mutual friend. The restaurant was going through transition coming out of COVID. He came in not only with the culinary skills, but the work ethic, the leadership, everything, just the right man at the right time for 40 Acres. And it's just been a great partnership since then. And I'm truly honored to work for him and alongside of him.
So we've been working on, of course, building reading skills, but tailored to the things that he's interested in. Carl's lived in the United States for a long time and is looking now to become a naturalized citizen. Also, as a chef, Carl, of course, has interest in food preparation safety. So at times we've worked through the ServSafe certification.
It helped me a lot because it made me a different person. Because I got grandkids, and I'm doing it for them and for me too. So that generation don't have to go through that, you know. And I'm proud that I still have the opportunity to do it. It's not all about me, it's all about that generation that's coming. You know, I tell them how important it is to go to school. Yeah, I hope somebody follow my step and look at it and say, well, this guy started there, look where he is now, you know. You just can't give up. You just can't make people stay in your way. You just gotta focus. That's where I'm focused. And I'm really thankful for everything, you know.
The burden of not knowing how to read and the burden of being challenged, I can only imagine day in, day out. This is just an example of just good work on both sides, right? So this wasn't a formal relationship. This wasn't any phone calls. This is an example of a man who wanted to better himself and then comes here and makes our restaurant better every day.
I will tell anybody, you know, you're never too old to learn. Don't be embarrassed to go to school. The literacy program is a good program. It's a good program. You gotta start somewhere, you know? My teacher was it, and my teacher, she gave me a gift for Christmas because she know this is my heart. If you know me, you know what I like. Faith, family, and food. So she went on the internet and she found this book. It have everything. Every morning I could read a recipe and a script here. And I thank her for that, you know. Because this is what I love. Food, family, faith.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I hope sometime in the future we will sit down again.
When you come to New York, we'll do part 2.
Part 2. And never forget where you come from. And be nice to someone when you're going up the ladder. Because when you're coming back down, you might meet the same person coming back down. God bless you all.
What about Albany? You can't forget Albany.
Oh, I was forgetting the most important thing.
Them 14 flights.
12J. 205 Albany, 12J. Ooh. Oh, it sound like it just sound like sometimes I done cook chana and doubles. And when we go outside and we press the elevator to go downstairs, the elevator ain't working. We got to tote everything down. Mm-hmm. All the food down and we through the stairs. And I don't know if you ever know about Albany project. The door slammed like a prison door. The hallway looked like a detention center. And we did it. And I want to say a special thanks to my sons and my boys and them. I can remember when they were small, getting up in the morning, all of them in the boxes because the house is sweating. Because I'm getting up 3 o'clock, busting China. The whole hallway line up with coolers with food because I have people coming to pick it up. And they used to be hot. Summertime, we have all the window open, the fan, the whole house is hot. I mean, I used to feel sorry for them. All of them running around half naked. They can't eat no breakfast because the stove occupied. They had to go out and buy. I put them through a lot. And I'm thankful that today. They're all doing good. They're in the cooking field. Now a big shout out for Chef Carl Jr. You know?
Holding it down at the Marriott.
You're holding it down at the Marriott.
In Michigan. He made it. They know his name.
And don't forget Khalif. He could burn too. You always say, Daddy, don't forget me. And don't forget Chad. I remember one time I take Chad on tour with me. And was Music Soul Child and Anthony Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And every day in Music Soul Child telling me, man, I love how you fix that the tofu. But I'd never fix it. So one day I say, man, I got to fix it for him. And I fix it, and he didn't like it. So then I said, Chad, how you do it? My son just take that tofu, fry them, and make a stew for him. He make me look like I didn't know why, because he put me in a position. Because you always say, Daddy, I go hook that up. And he hook it up. And Music Soul Child, every time he meet me, he said, man, that was real good. And I was like, I didn't know, I didn't cook that for you. You understand? Yeah. So I tried to cook it, but I cook it a different way. I didn't know he fried it first before he did it. And he was like, it didn't taste too good today. I was like, I ain't tell him I do it and my son doing it. Enough respect for you, Chad. All right? So, you know, you all, sometime, I like you all for that, because when you all come to 40 Acres, you all is my worst critic. When you all come here, I go in the kitchen and say, my sons is out there. Try to do everything good, because you know them. They're picky. They know. You can't fool them. You understand? Thank you for Rita. Thank you for you all. Thank you for you, Curtis. God bless you all. And
shout out to June. June was this time the other day. I remember your pops used to have me going to the store, man.
And everybody that live in Albany and the 12th floor, I'm sorry for disturbing you all every 12, weekend.
11.
12, 11.
You gotta remember, Mo and them live right underneath us. So
and 9 too.
If it was steamy up there, you know it had to be steamy down there for them.
They say, man, I ain't coming up on your floor before I go, because it smell like curry and food. I think sometimes it probably still smell like that after all these years, you know.
Shout out to Benny, Richard, man. You all was great.
And all of them. Melinda next
door.
The whole
Warren family.
The Warren family.
Man.
All they bear with us. All they never call it.
Miss Mary.
All they never call the people on me. All they never complain. All they never say, well, why you had the whole place smelling food, you know. I want to say thank you all, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Mo.
Thank you so much. Sometime I want to go to Boston and these big festivals, and I didn't have the money. You didn't know me. And you will send $2,000, $3,000 for me and say, yeah, go shopping, buy what you buy. When you have it, come back. You never knock my door for your money. I bring it for you. I want to say thank you. And don't forget Isaac with the Baduga, the grocery store next door.
Can't forget Isaac.
Curtis, go downstairs and give me 10 pounds of flour from Isaac. And give me 10 bag thing of chickpeas, and tell him I will see him when I come back after Labor Day. You understand?
That's real, man.
And one thing I want to say about the people in Brooklyn, you all make Carl's Hot Doubles a household name. I sold the most doubles and the most pulori
on the streets.
On the street in Brooklyn, in restaurant too. In restaurant, nobody in Brooklyn have never sell 50 pounds of flour in pulori on a Labor Day. I did it. Understand?
Talk, chef.
I sell 2,000 doubles already. I sell $1,000 doubles by Tilden Hall, in front of Tilden Hall one night.
That's the doubles, man. Carl's Doubles.
You know? And God bless. When we went back and we opened Trini Cafe, people used to come in there and say, people used to tell their family, I carried it to Trini Cafe. But everything have its time and everything have its course. God bless you all. I gotta go because I got an interview with Fox News.
Yeah, he came ready to do an interview with Fox News. We thank you, doublesman, a.k.a. Chef Carl, for coming on to Speak Life, Shine Bright. Like you said, you came a long way. You want to let the people know where it first originally started. Like you said, the doubles. And now you have 40, and with the shells. It started with the shells to the doubles, and now he had 40 acres. giving them that good soul food,
That's-
you know?
That food for your soul,
That
you know.
soul. You come in there and relax and feel a good atmosphere. And
Good atmosphere,
yeah,
good food.
you can
good
bring your family. You can have a business meeting. You can just have lunch by yourself, and you're still gonna have a good time.
We take care of. I personally take care of the customers like if it's my own. I love to cook to make the customers feel happy.
Wow, let's give a round of applause to Chef Carl for that. The passion for cooking and seeing people happy. He wants you to come in. He know when you come in, you got to frown because you're hungry. But when you leave, he want to make sure you got a smile on your face.
That's all I want to see, you smile, and you make me happy. When you smile outside, I'm smiling inside. So and we all smiling together. God bless you.
Yeah, I just want to thank, this is my pops. Like I said, I knew him my whole life, right? Since I was born, right? And, I'm just thankful for him and seeing his journey, and just got a chance to let him come on the platform and share his story. I'm sure it's going to be inspirational to somebody in Trinidad and somebody out there that's planning on cooking, or you don't have all the education in the world, but he proved time and time again that doesn't define a person. He took pictures and say, this is my degree. Look what I can do. I'm on hand. I'm on skills. And that no degree could surpass that. And that's how he made his name in the Holiday Inn, in the streets of Brooklyn, and now Grand Rapids.
Education is the key, because sometimes without education, you have to work harder.
And this man is proving it is never too late to learn. He is a student with the Literacy Center of West Michigan. It's an organization committed to making this a region with the highest literacy levels in the nation. That is a goal, though, that takes constant commitment. 1 in 8 adults in our area struggle with reading or writing. Today, we see how volunteers are changing the lives of learners and vice versa.
I love to see people eat and enjoy. It do something to me. It put a smile on my heart.
No matter where his adventures take him, Chef Carl's happy place is always in the kitchen, preparing delicious food for others.
It do something to me. It's thing, and I always want people to enjoy. I take pride in cooking for them. That's all I love. I love family, faith, and cooking.
It was family that took him from Trinidad to Manhattan in 1977, and family that eventually brought him to West Michigan 24 years later. Today, he's the head chef of 40 Acre Soul Kitchen in Grand Rapids.
It brings me back home to my grandkids. I could spend time with them. I could still cook. I felt so touched to know that they could come here and sit down and have a meal with a gram.
Chef Carl spent most of his early life working and raising a family, so other priorities fell by the wayside.
So I didn't have too much schooling in Trinidad. And I have grandkids now. And I want to be able to say, read to them and make sure, let them know how important education is. That's first. That's very, very important.
He has worked with Jennifer Summers at the Literacy Center of West Michigan for 4 years. She's not just the program coordinator, she's also a volunteer.
We've been doing a lot of reading of different texts, depending on what he's interested in addition to the food safety, a lot of American history, a lot of biographies, different people, places, geography, things that he's interested in. He's also looking to become a naturalized citizen. That's one of his goals. So we've worked on the 100 questions of the citizenship interview.
Right now, there's a waiting list of learners who need to be paired with a volunteer. And Jennifer says it's worth every minute of her time.
It's not just, okay, we're just reading this. You really get to know each other and to share your stories with each other. So it really, really builds community and a sense of grounding and purpose in what we're doing. So it's very rewarding.
For Chef Carl, he's not only learning more at every meeting, he's made a friend for life. And he encourages anyone who needs some help to not be afraid to ask for it.
I told her one day, I say, you're going to be proud of me. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it true. And I'm thankful for that program. And anybody who listening, anybody who's seen this, don't be ashamed. My goal is to get that education and go to school. And when I get it, I'm going to hold my certificate up and say I made it. I'm not giving up.
I love him. I know. He is such a character, such an endearing guy.
He said, I'm not giving up.
He is not giving up.
and inspiration.
And he is, and his goal really is to inspire his family, his grandkids. He just wants to make, he's instilled in his own children and is now just trying to inspire his grandkids. And if you want to volunteer, they are in desperate need. It's a 2-hour-a-week commitment. You know, if you can read and write and have control of the English language, 18 and up, make sure you go online on our website. We have a link there so you can learn more about the Literacy Center.
Great way to get involved, too.
Yeah.